Going on, tribe? This is Prepare Mentality. I had to get this out today for the California wildfires and get some of these updates that I was reading, just giving my thoughts and opinions because this is stuff and this is a situation that we talk about a lot. We talk about this, we go over this, and it just serves to show that you never know the day, the time, and the place that an emergency could break out. Uh, in California, 179,000 under evacuation orders. LA County Sheriff says some areas look like a bomb was dropped. I said to one of my colleagues, I said, this looks like a terrorist threat or a terrorist action has occurred. Um, what they've known so far is that a fierce wildfire burning out of control in the Great Los Angeles area have killed at least five people. There could possibly be more than five people that they can account for. Forced nearly 180,000 people from their homes. Authorities said the total number of deaths from the fire are unknown at this time, so there could be more deaths coming within the next few days after the fire. Uh, at least five fires are burning, covering more than 45 square miles, sparked by dry conditions and powerful winds. Uh, there's multiple stories out there about how this fire or fires got started. I'm not going to get into that in this video, and I'm not going to get into the political reasons about this fire in this video. But it is causing unprecedented scenes in the LA area uh, and areas that are not known for fires as well. Um, this fire has burned through more than 17,234 acres. That's almost 27 square miles. It has destroyed close to 1,000 structures and is entirely uncontained. This is making it the most destructive wildfire in LA in history. These are unprecedented times. We have a fire happening, major wildfire happening on the West Coast. We have major freeze warning and blizzards happening on the East Coast and in the Midwest, freezing conditions. Stuff like this. This is what we prepare for, and I can't say it enough. Um, they're saying more than 350,000 energy customers were without power earlier today. This is the ninth, including 200,000 in LA County, the most populous county in the country. The intense Santa Ana winds have eased compared to the past 2 days, but winds gusts are still forecast to be 40 to 50 miles per hour. Today, the ninth, the winds are 50 to 70 miles per hour tonight and into the morning. You know, when we talk about preparedness, there was a feed on one of the Facebook groups that I'm a part of for preparedness, and they were talking about, we always look at the biggest and scariest and unrealistic disasters to happen, right? But we hardly recognize the everyday emergencies that emerge on a daily basis, whether that be the power going out, whether that be a wildfire that takes out acres of land, misplaces thousands, right? Whether that be a boil water alert, which is happening. It's happening in Richmond, Virginia right now. It's also happening in California and multiple other places where the power's out and they can't clean the water properly because of generators that are down. To your flooding, your local flooding from a river, right, or a dam. These things are taking place constantly. And that's what I hit on. I hit on the everyday person trying to just survive an emergency, trying to make it out of a disaster, not only for themselves, but for their family or the people that they love around them. And this is why, for this specifically for California for wildfires, it is the most important to keep a go bag with all your essentials in it. Of course, food, water, medications, any emergency documents, passports, licenses. Uh, if you have housing, anything to do, with the mortgage, any major info that you can have on hand or that you think you would need, put it in your emergency bag, put it in your go bag. Have a good pair of shoes or boots in your backpack or in your car. Have emergency supplies ready in your car as well, depending on where you are. Uh, Make sure you have some type of security with you, whatever that means to you. Um, just make sure that everybody that you are with or that is in your household has the things that they need to grab and go and leave their residency. Because you never know if you're coming back home. And in this particular scenario, this is a bug out situation. This is you're never coming home. And that's the definition I put out on a bug out bag. A bug out bag is I'm never coming home, never coming back to my home. I'm never going to see the same things. I'm never going to interact with the same people, depending on the area, right? So you have to think like a nomad in these worst case scenarios. This is a worst case scenario in California right now. We want to stay safe during these fires, and that's any emergency or any disaster that comes up. I posted a little preparedness tip. I do preparedness tips on Instagram for those who don't know. And if you have an Instagram, please go to Prepared Mentality at Instagram, and I put up preparedness tips. And the post that I put up recently is stay safe during wildfires. And this is specifically for uh, the California area. Evacuation ready. You want to be evacuation ready. Of course, you want to follow local authorities and what they have to say, and evacuation orders are in place as we speak for the major California area. Again, have go bag with all the essentials. You want to stay informed if you can from your phone. Like I said, many of these counties have Facebook pages that you can follow. And if you don't have that, you can follow the radio, listen to the local news on the radio. But you want to monitor official updates through these resources, local news, weather apps, and emergency alerts. I'm sure many of the citizens in California got the county alert or the state alert to their phone. With being evacuation ready, you want to plan your route if you can ahead of time. And this is where, I get into, even if you have a get home bag or a bug out bag, you want to know where you're going. You want to know your destination. Sometimes you may not have a destination. Sometimes it's last minute. Sometimes it's really, really a bad emergency and you just want to get out of Dodge, right? For places where we know may have wildfires, for places we know may have flooding and hurricanes, places we know may have tornadoes, we want to make sure we have options. Make sure we know multiple routes to and from our homes to our secondary location. Make sure if one road is blocked, we know a secondary road to get to. And or if we can't use the roads, if we can't drive on the main highways, how are you going to push through? Have you walked those areas? Have you walked in these woods? Have you walked in these parks? Have you learned how to navigate through different territories without being on the major highways. That's important because at any given time during an emergency, the roads could be blocked by anything, by anything. Uh, keep your car fueled and ready to go. Um, but you definitely want to make sure you have multiple evacuation routes, specifically during this scenario, because you never know what direction the fire may be going. And a lot of times you may have to get out of Dodge and use your feet. And this is where it gets into being healthy, being able to run a little distance just to get to safety, being able to not be out of breath, being able to have stamina when you are in an emergency situation. That's why this year our health is so important. Our health and what we eat, what we place in our body is so important because you never know when we'll have to utilize our own physical body, especially in these scenarios. I saw that a lot of the people were abandoning cars in the middle of the road in California because the fire was coming so quickly that there was too much traffic. And by the time, traffic moved up a little bit, the fire was moving 2 times, 3 times closer to them. So they had to up and run it with whatever they had. No matter if they were coming from home, if they were coming from work, they were running errands. It doesn't matter what you're doing. You have to be ready and prepared at all times. This is why having an emergency bag, a go bag, whatever you want to call it, bug out bag, whatever you want to call it. It's a bag with your essential supplies, a bag that can get you to point A to point B. Sometimes you don't know where you're going. That's just the nature of the beast until you get there. Sometimes you don't know what to do, but at least you have the simple things on hand. You have enough to get by, to get your family by, to get you through a horrible situation such as these wildfires. And it's a terrible situation for many. Many people have lost their homes. Kids have lost their schools. People have lost jobs. People have lost churches, their local worship centers. People have lost everything in these fires. This is a serious situation. But it's only serious if you take it seriously. I can only do so much to help prepare people, but I do as much as I can with the time I have. It's up to you guys to spread the word, to spread these videos, not just me, other people who teach emergency preparedness, others who teach about survival, because it's hitting us hard and it's hitting us every day in the world. So this year, it's time to get focused, people. It's time to take your preparedness seriously because this is not the last of it. Now, I'm talking overall. We have a whole year ahead of us. Let's get ready. But I just wanted to cover that real quick and just, give some pointers and some thoughts that I had on this because it's very, very heartbreaking to hear the stories that are happening and to people about their homes, about their resources that are not happening or getting to them. And shout out to all the emergency responders out there, especially, my fellow firefighters out there, policemen and women out there, the medical staff out there. Thank God for you guys. Thank God for your diligence. Thank God for your endurance. Thank God for your health and strength. And we pray for you during this time that you guys were able to fight this fight and win the battle with these wildfires. So hope you guys are safe. Hope you guys are healthy. Stay blessed. This is Prepare Mentality.